And then back to the top of the order here in the top of the third for the Eagles, and Matt Teeting pitches a curveball inside and low for ball one to Mason Reynolds, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to short back in the first. The 1-0 pitch, this lined into shallow center. Cedric Bowman will get a hold of it, but not before it hits the turf. And Mason Reynolds has given the Southwest Christian Eagles a leadoff base runner. A high fastball that he turned on. Hit at the chest, too. Squared up nicely. And it was too far for Jacob Speaker at short to make a play. Brings up Dylan Still, who has 2 RBIs in district play. Southwest Christian needs one now as they trail 1-0. Top of the third. Squares up to bunt, but pulls back. And waiting on the call from home plate umpire Rick Collins. It was a ball. Nobody out. Top of the third. And a runner at first in Mason Reynolds, the catcher for Southwest Christian. Squares up to bunt again, and this one a little tapper that goes right in front of Mason Speaker, and overrunning it is the second baseman A.J. Mendolia. I can't really fault Mason Speaker for that. Nice backing up by center fielder Cedric Bowman to make sure that didn't go all the way to the wall on a rifle shot from behind home for Mason Speaker. So, yeah, you see there, it's just a little bit overran. So Dylan Still is on first base. And a brief little conversation with 2 base runners and nobody out here for Mike Pfahler and the All Saints. While they do that, we'll let them. The Eagles trail, but they're still at the bat with no outs. Back after this. Well, technically, since Mason Speaker at the plate threw that ball, since it did come off of his hand, that is an E2 on why Dylan Still is at first base and how Mason Reynolds advanced. So Nico Sharp, and a dangerous guy to have with 11 RBIs in district. The center fielder, junior lefty. He will try to bunt, and this one takes a hop inside fair territory and then rolls out. Nico Sharp, 281 average within Taps play. And he has been their main source of offense. And this conference play that started off extremely rocky for the Eagles. And squaring up and letting the pitch sail by for a ball. Yep. Jacob Speaker completely had just sprinted towards third base as Andrew Bird would have had to come in to cover the bunt, and nobody was at second base. Squaring up to bunt again, spin around, and A.J. Mendolia can't glove it. Taking off and sliding in safely to third is Mason Reynolds. And that technically would be an E4 as it bounced off A.J. Mendolia, the sophomore second baseman's glove. Spinning back, everybody was in position. It was a perfect pickoff. Maybe the throw just a little bit by Matt Teeting was low, but enough it just hit the heel of the glove. And a heads-up play by Mason Reynolds. So the second straight error, essentially, by All Saints. They had 4 in the 4-1 loss in late March. This a line drive to center field. Cedric Bowman will get to it, but that's deep enough for the run to come in from third, and Mason Reynolds scores on the sacrifice fly by Nico Sharp. And there is Mr. RBI with his 12th of district play. And we have a 1-1 game in the top of the third. Dylan still at first base. And here comes Sal Camilleri, who singled into shallow right field back in the first inning. 1-for-1 tonight. The pitch from Matt Teating. It's a curveball driven into the ground. A two-hopper to Jacob Speaker. Threatens to throw at second. Did it delay it too much in time at first? No. The stretch by Cade Farr just enough to get him. Jacob Speaker made a nice play. You saw there, just threatened to throw it a little bit at second, but Dylan Still was already there. And whoo, that is a foot, ball, and glove combination right there. One more time. Well, if you're a Saints fan, you'll take it. 2 away and a runner at second for Southwest Christian. Here comes Curtis Warren, the right fielder. And a curveball down in the dirt for ball 1. Curtis Warren struck out swinging in the top of the first. He went 0 for 3 back on March 23rd in the 4-1 Eagles victory, striking out 3 times. So 4 straight strikeouts for Warren. He will not do it a 5th straight. A little tapper over to Cade Farr at first, and the pitcher covering Matt Teating. And the Saints allow a run and then subsequently get out of a little bit of a jam. 1 run comes across for the Eagles here in the top of the 3rd, and they do it off of 1 hit. 2 errors notched and 1 left stranded. To the home half of the 3rd inning and a 1-1 game. Back here in a moment on the Texas 24/7 television network.